everybody, I'm Julie.
And I'm Heather.
And we're nadinetheband. Welcome to our channel. So today, we're going to be asking the age-old questions, are musicians hot? And then discuss why the answer to that question is yes.
Ooh. So it is sort of a well-known idea that musicians are hot. What do you think? Are musicians hot? Is this guy hot? Is she hot? What about this one right here?
How about these ladies right here? Are they hot?
Huh? Oh, is she hotter now?
Oh, is she hotter?
We all know that bass players are the hottest.
Oh, I don't know why, but drummers do well.
Maybe it's because they're so physical.
Oh, yes.
A good drummer denotes physical fitness.
Yes.
Physical fitness is most likely an attractive trait in a potential partner.
Yes. If they have good tempo, they have good brain.
Fun fact about me, I have multiple degrees in psychology. I used to teach psychology courses at a university, and I have a background in evolutionary psychology, specifically in like sexy stuff.
I got an art degree. I drew pictures in college.
So I'll be breaking down a few studies that answer these questions. Are musicians attractive, and if so, why? So, Julie, what are your hypotheses? A hypothesis is a prediction that you come up with before you do your experiment.
My hypothesis is that musicians are going to be considered hot.
Yeah. Which musicians are the hottest to you?
I tend to be attracted to rock musicians.
Same.
Don't tell anyone, internet. I'm pretty confident this information not getting out there because I don't think very many people watch our channel.
No.
But there was a time when I was just completely in love with Jared Leto from 30 Seconds to Mars.
So what were you specifically attracted to?
This might actually go against our thesis presentation a little bit.
Yeah.
Because he was definitely just hot. I liked his teeth. I liked his eyes.
Beautiful eyes.
I've got this thing for blue eyes.
That'll do it.
We're gonna keep this a PG channel. His voice was just a little cherry on top of the hot sundae.
If you saw how beautiful he was, and we went to a 30 Seconds to Mars concert,
Which
and the
we did.
music starts, and it's so good, it's so good, and then he picks up his little microphone and he's like, break me down, bury me. Flatline, yep.
Flatline.
So the talent does matter.
I feel like that SNL skit of Don Jr. and Eric Trump. I feel like the Eric Trump next to your Don Jr. You're over here, you're like delivering all this like confident speech, and I'm just like,
Hey buddy, play with some Play-Doh while I talk, okay? Don't eat it. Way back when in caveman times, surviving was difficult. We had a lot to do. We had to like kill animals to eat them. We had to learn how to make fire. We had to not die every second of the day. Our ancestors were like sitting around a fire, and if there was a caveman that was singing, it showed the other lady cave women around, wow, that guy's good. He already hunted for the day. He's full. He knows how to survive. He's got time to sing. I want him. He's not gonna die soon.
so having free time is sexy?
Yes.
You know you want this. I got all the free time in the world.
We are surviving.
I don't have a real job. I don't have a boyfriend. I don't have nothing to do but make one video a week. I don't know this for sure. I'm going to assume that probably one of the first musical instruments was some form of drum.
Absolutely.
Like they're gonna just hit something and make some noises before like you make a little flute or something.
Oh yeah,
So
flute's way at the end of the spectrum.
yeah, and that's why people love drummers so much. It's like one of the first instruments. It has to be the first instrument.
That's a great idea, Julie.
Good brain. Let's see, what is the first instrument musical? No,
It's a flute.
it's a
Are
flute.
you kidding me?
It was a flute. My bad, never mind, it's a flute.
People were banging on things before they ever thought to put their mouth on something.
Yep.
I don't know how to make that not sound horrible.
Yeah.
You can make anything a drum. Sup, I'm a drum.
Maybe it was just clapping.
article is called Musical Improvisation Skill and a Prospective Partner is Associated with Mate Value and Preferences Consistent with Sexual Selection and Parental Investment Theory Implications for the Origin of Music. Okay, so for this study specifically, they were looking at musical performance quality. The music that they played for people were improvisations on the drums, the saxophone, and the violin. And they chose those instruments because they thought people will really be able to tell if someone is bad at these instruments or good at them. This study looked at Swedish people, so right there, that's already a thing against it. So they had 27 men and 27 women, which is a really low sample size. You want more than that. So they saw a face of a person of the opposite sex, and there were 3 levels of attractiveness. I'm gonna assume that it was the same person, but they probably changed the facial symmetry of the person because more symmetrical faces are more attractive. And then they listened to 3 varying degrees of musical quality. So they either heard, really bad, middle, or very good. And basically what they found was that women were more attracted to the good musical quality regardless of how attractive the face was. That stood with their hypothesis. Heterosexual women feel that men who are good at playing an instrument are more attractive versus being bad at playing the instrument. However, and this does not surprise me, the results were different for men. Men found the most attractive women the most attractive because bar drag. I think there's a lot you can take from someone playing an instrument. Their intelligence, they're hard workers, they can practice, they can spend time on something, and you hope that that means they'll spend time on you.
I have a very specific experience, so I have specific criteria for what I find attractive. Just my dating experience is being with the guy who didn't care about anything.
And he was a drummer.
So he was a musician.
I guess it's different if you actually have experience having been with musicians.
Yeah.
So we're not as delusional about how perfect they can be.
Oh yeah, they're scum too.
Yeah.
Caring. If you care about things.
How sad.
I know. Look where my standards are.
Do you care about anything?
Just care about things. Do you care about me? No, okay, but you care about something else, right? Okay.
So another study that we'll talk about just real quick was performed by Benjamin D. Charlton at the University of Sussex. So heterosexual women listened to piano music that was either very simple versus a more complicated song with an actual melody that had syncopation and required skill. And basically they found that women who are at the peak of ovulation, that's when you're the most fertile in your cycle, they had a preference for the more complicated music. But women who were not at their most fertile part of their cycle didn't have a preference at all. So the skills equate to baby making in this instance. But women basically don't prefer musicians as long-term partners. Not that they don't want them, but there's no strong correlation.
There's all kinds of stereotypes with musicians too. Being on the road and having lots of girlfriends and all those bad musician stereotypes, which are stereotypes because every person is different. If anybody watches this, I'm sure there are people out there thinking well, I'm a musician. I've been a musician all my life and nobody finds me hot. I don't know, person. I have never felt particularly hot either.
Yeah.
And I'm a musician.
So definitely a big problem with these studies and kind of with this phenomenon, the musician effect in general, is that mostly it's talking about how heterosexual women feel towards male musicians.
Just gonna throw another Julie tidbit in there. So a lot of what we've been talking about is why musicians are hot, and it's because they're smart and hardworking and reasons why we wanna mate with them. But another huge trope with musicians is that they're bad boys or bad girls. That's almost the opposite of what all these studies are checking.
Yes, and the bad boy trope, that is all for short-term mating. People want short-term partners. They want it quick.
Gotcha.
They're not looking for long-term partners.
You made it work. You made it come full circle. Science. How do you feel about bad boys?
I don't think okay. Well, yeah, this is tricky. So,
because you don't want a bad boy.
I
but
don't.
have you fallen for a bad boy?
Yes. Yes, I have. But I don't want them as a long-term partner.
Yep.
Yeah, no, when I think about
There you go.
my soulmate, who I want, I'm like, no, I want them to give a crap. I want them to be caring. I want them to be kind. I want them to be nice. I want them to like my mom. I don't want a bad boy for life. Bad boys for life!
Bad boys for life!
Why women date bad boys, according to scientists.
What is a bad boy anyway?
Hyper masculine.
Oh.
These men ooze testosterone, which leads to boldness and is associated with exaggerated sexuality. Bad boys free us from the pressure of being good girls. Girls possess a range of traits like rebelliousness.
Let's just assume everybody sucks.
Oh, that's not a bad assumption, actually.
All these guys suck. Us ladies suck.
Yeah.
The little children suck. Everybody sucks. Basically, the bad boy trope comes down to hypermasculine.
So another thing that women like about bad guys is that we feel like they'll protect us.
Kind of a small example that I have, not even about men, but about dogs. One time, this dog got into our yard and we were trying to find its owner, and it was a giant German Shepherd Husky mix, this big boy. And we were looking for its owner, so I was sitting out on our front porch and he was sitting right next to me. And this guy walked by who's kind of like known in the neighborhood as kind of a shady, like drug dealer-y type guy. And normally he would probably mess with me. He would probably yell some things at me, stop and stare at me, you know, just try to walk up to me, just try to intimidate me somehow. But I had Big Boy with me, and he just kept walking. I almost wanted to keep that dog for this reason, that it's like, wow, this dog just intimidated that guy right off my lawn. Yeah. Man, the power of a...
There was a study that men were showed pictures of women, either it was the same woman, either she had a guitar or she didn't, and 3% of men thought she was attractive when she did not have her guitar, and 28% of men thought she was attractive when she had the guitar.
3% of men think I'm attractive right now.
Okay.
Now 28% of men think I'm attractive.
Ooh, I can make you even more attractive.
How about now? Do you see this?
Hot.
Right? This is a sexy guitar. As a woman holding a guitar, do heterosexual men. Those will just be the demographics that we hit for right now. The woman holding this guitar more or less sexy than that cute little acoustic guitar right there. I'm going to say my theory is men are gonna like the acoustic on a woman.
I think so too.
More than the SG. Because I think for men, it's also very important that the woman not be intimidating. Throughout my life as being a single person, the question being posed as to why I'm still single, the answer is probably 95% of the time because you're intimidating.
I get that one too.
So I'm gonna say, this guy's intimidating. That guy is less intimidating.
Yeah.
And again, guys, don't get offended by this. These are just all scenarios.
General.
We're not pointing any specific person out there because every single person is different and you might not be intimidated by me at all. That is perfectly fine.
We're gonna get all these comments that are like, you guys don't intimidate us at all, and then we're gonna be really offended.
I know. Just historically, I have been mostly attracted to singers and drummers.
Yeah.
Sometimes drummers who sing. Can we give it up for Phil Collins, please?
Don Henley!
Woo woo! Desperado, you've got to come to your senses. All right, so there were our tids and our bits on why musicians are hot. Are musicians hot? Yes, musicians are hot. Why are musicians hot? So many reasons.
Who are the hottest musicians to you? Are they conventionally good looking? Is that why they're attractive? Or is it because of their talent? So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like this video, subscribe to our channel, press that little notification bell so you're notified every time we post a video. We post a video once a week, every Friday, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye!
Bye.